This is the Panasonic DC servo automatic turntable system, SL-H306. Uh, so the story with this turntable is that I had found it at a Deseret thrift store, and it was in rough shape. The mat was missing; didn't have the mat. Didn't have the belt. This is a belt drive turntable, so it does need a belt. And the motor's right there. This is the belt. Uh, didn't have a stylus. Well, actually, it did have a cartridge. It didn't have a stylus. The cartridge that came in this, I took it off and I put it on another turntable. It was basically an Audio Technica P mount type of cartridge. But I did put this Technics that I got from it actually came with the linear tracking turntable that I reviewed last time. That's also Panasonic. But I put it on this one because I had something else on that one. But this cartridge is good. It just needs basically a new stylus, because when I bought the turntable, the guy that sold it to me told me that the cartridge needed to be replaced. So, but I think the only thing that was wrong with it is that the stylus was a little crooked. But I was able to get some needle nose pliers and straighten it out. So now it works okay. It's not my main turntable because it's missing its dust cover, and there was a modification I had to do to make this work 100%. Let's take a look at the back. So like I was mentioning, it's missing the dust cover, so it needs a dust cover. I've been looking for a dust cover for months, and I have not been able to find one that matches this one. I suspect that the stereo that this came with probably had one of those towers or cabinets that had the opening at the top for the record player so that you could cover it. But I'm not sure, but it definitely is missing a dust cover. This is made in Japan, and it's model, like I mentioned, SL-H3064 or 6U. What attracted me to this turntable is that it's very solid. It's got a good weight to it. It's not light. It does only have two speeds. You do have a stopper or a cutter, and the cueing's here. There's no cueing lever here, so when you cue it, the cueing did not work when I first got it. It would not go down. So all I had to do really was to clean. I had to disassemble and clean this hydraulic for this to work better. But now it works fine. You know, the cueing goes down. It is very. The cueing is very dampened, which is something that I like about this turntable, because you will pull up the cueing, and then when you put the needle down, it's very slow to fall on the record, which I like. This tone arm is permanently set at 1.5 grams for the anti-skating. In fact, I actually did measure it, and the tracking force on this one is exactly 1.5. So, well, one thing that I don't like about this turntable is that it does not have that little clip to hold the tone arm in place. And as a matter of fact, I followed V Westlife's advice about tone arms without this little clip. So I've got one of these binder clips, and I've just put it there, which makes it a lot easier to transport. That way your tone arm doesn't go all over the place. But anyways, let's talk about the mods that I had to do on this turntable. The first one was basically just repairing that hydraulic, but the second thing was the grounding cable. So as you can see, and I think I've mentioned this before on one of my other videos, Turntables are always better quality when you see that the wires are not hardwired. So these wires are not hardwired, so they're detachable. But you could run into the problem of having some kind of proprietary cable that is lost. And this was the situation where that I found myself when I had this turntable. It did not come with a grounding cable. So what I had to do was, at first I tried fabricating one. So I got just a regular cable. And what I did, I got one of these clips that you can attach the cables to make contact with one cable to another. And what I did, let me see if I can get this thing to focus. What I did is I got some pliers and I tried making this into a C shape by applying pressure on both sides until I basically crushed it into more of a C shape kind of thing. And once I got it to the shape that would fit inside the little hole, I basically made this temporary grounding cable that went in there using one of these. But that did not work very well because it would constantly become detached. So you'd hear a bunch of buzzing all of a sudden. So what I ended up doing is I ended up taking the turntable apart and I basically hardwired a cable into the ground so that it would permanently be attached, hardwired to the turntable. So this did not come stock like this. I actually ended up modifying it so that it would have this hardwired cable in it. I do think that the modification helped the turntable because these grounding cables sometimes can run up to 20 bucks. And for a turntable that's used, I'm not really willing to spend that much money to get it all up and running. I mean, you're already going to spend about 12 bucks or 15 bucks for the belt. So I just decided that I was going to do hardwire cable, and it's worked fine. There's no buzzing at all, and as soon as I turn it on, you'll be able to hear the turntable. And just to show you, I got this prong thing that goes perfect into any grounding port. So this thing is up and running, ready to go. There won't be any problems with buzzing or grounding because this cable works perfect. And I think I didn't do that bad of a job because you can barely tell that this is in stock. Okay, so I think we have enough info to start playing some records and see how this thing sounds. I do have the turntable paired up with my Yamaha AV-55 natural sound stereo amplifier. I'll go ahead and set this over to phono. Okay, so I got my Reader's Digest record. So like I said, the cueing is very, very smooth and the dampening is excellent. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and move my stylus over. Okay, and then just check out this cueing. It's just very soft. Okay, and as you can see, you can cut the record at any point. So this is a lovely little turntable. I won't be selling this one because of the modifications I've already made to it, and I also really want that dust cover to make this whole thing complete. It was in rough shape when I first got it, so I've enjoyed fixing this up, and it plays really well. It's very solid. I like the weight on it. So I'm gonna wait to see, maybe someone can message me and tell me that they have the dust cover for this, because I would be willing to negotiate a fair price to get a dust cover here with the hinges, of course, because it's also missing the hinges. But that's basically it for the Panasonic DC servo automatic turntable system HL-H306. Thank you for watching.